Okay, folks, I just want to show you. So on my on my YouTube, Arcadia Economics puts up this video. They're about to play it, so I'm gonna get out before they play it. But BRICS move gold-backed unit plans forward ahead of October meeting in Kazan. Now that name's close to Kazakhstan, so you know I'm always looking at these nations that are well hidden, and they really have remnants of old Tartarian structures, which are mind-blowing. So let's close that. Here, Kazan, right? Kazan is the largest city and capital of Tatarstan, Russia. Very close to Tartarian, right? So one of these, like Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan. The city lies at the confluence of the Volga and the Kazanka rivers. Let's look. Let's look. It's so beautiful, okay? This is the old world. This is the world they've hidden from us. They either made buildings like the White House, different facades. You know, they covered up everything. If they didn't cover it up with another structure or saying it's a church, it's been destroyed, basically. Look at this. Look at how beautiful. It's always the domes with the spires. And I wonder if those are angels on there, or, you know, you don't see like gargoyles in old Tartary. You see them in Manhattan buildings and some older structures, which like almost represent the things that are overlooking. Look at this building back here. Look at that. Is that beautiful? So all those domes and different spires, which we can't, they're not that big compared to some of them, but the theory is all that's to harvest energy, and all the different geometries, all the different spirals are made to harvest energy. And then when you get into somatics and frequency and elements, then it gets pretty wild. Let's look at some other structures. Look at this. That don't look that old, but you never know. But this, I don't care what they tell you. That structure, it's probably hidden, but that structure probably goes down, way down. And it's covered up from the mud flood or from them building up to it. But that's probably the top of a big building. And it would all be concealed, what they did underneath. Now look at this. That looks more new, but it could be just redone. You know, that reminds me of, you know, a little bit of a Star Fort feature there. So interesting. Wow. So beautiful though, too, though. You know, this goes back to the Old World Fairs here in 1800. They say they tore it all down because they were temporary structures, which is the craziest story when you get into the nitty-gritty. But look at that. That building right there, that tall building, that's centuries and centuries old. That's just redone and cleaned up. That is centuries old. That's no 17 or 1800s. These things go way back. Probably before a couple resets. And then you'll see another building here to the left with columns. Newer facade though, whatever, the bricks and all. See the ball there? Yeah, just gorgeous. Look at the wall. This almost got like a fort type of look to it. So I wonder from an aerial view, is that really a star fort that's intact? And again, this is what we see above ground. What's below them? Let's look at the flags. The flags always tell a story. Green, white, red wings. Red-winged dragon. What is that? It's got a serpent's tail on it. It's got like chicken feet. Little crown. Let's look at this. Coat of arms. Okay, a lot of things from royals and all. Everybody had a coat of arms, royals. Look at the design on the helmet, which would be a crown or a helmet. Fractal patterns. And fractals are very interesting. Only because the surface area. Fractals get so important when you could talk about harnessing energy, but a good I could go into a whole discussion about fractals, but even a coastline. You know, you think maybe from Massachusetts or New York or whatever, you've got 1,400 miles. But to give you an example of how fractals are, and it changes the surface area of something, if you were to follow the land, every indentation, outcrop, and back in and back out, it would be 10,000 miles, might even be 20,000 miles. So that's where fractals get very interesting. That's why we're not taught, you know, the frequency of patterns, the frequency of elements. Everything gets very deep, but let's just see here. That's why it would be good for starters to learn some Hebrew. Was the capital of Canaan of Kazan, and was conquered by Ivan the Terrible in the 16th century. Okay, so it was conquered in the 16th century. Those buildings have been there long before that. And it's like in America, right? A lot of the real old churches, real old buildings that look like, whether it's columns, spires, you know, domes, you'll notice, and it just dawned on me after watching a lot of Old World Florida and other Tartarian channels, the buildings say founded on them. Founded 1800 something, founded 1700 something, founded, and then it dawned on, they always got to let you know what's going on. In almost some of the little slickest ways, they found those buildings. Even San Francisco is on old Tartarian maps. Anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. Let's continue on here. Became a part of Tsardom of Russia. The city was seized and destroyed during Pugachev's rebellion. Rebuilt during Catherine the Great. It's renowned for its vibrant mix of Tatar and Russian cultures. So they're just missing the R there in Tatar. That almost looks like Tatar, I mean, without the R in the middle. But Tartarian world. America was even part of the Tartarian Empire. It's on old maps. When I seen them, I was just blown away. World Heritage Site. It has the right to be considered the third capital of Russia. It's a beautiful place. We just know so little. Our world is so beautiful, and we've got so much to learn. And all we are is a bunch of sheep, letting them kill us off slowly and brainwash us so we don't learn our true history. What are they hiding? They draw you this picture of the Middle Ages. Okay. Meanwhile, we got the pyramids, we got Tartarian structures. They think, you know. Yeah. Urban settlement in 1004 to 1005 AD. This stuff is probably older than that. We just have no idea. It's just been cleaned up. They'll tell you a lot of these old churches and everything, we can't build them with such detail. The detail in some of these old structures is just mind-blowing. Leather and gold products, that's what the city was renowned for. Why would that be? Where did they get the gold? Probably from the old sites, the old buildings. Here's a picture, 15 something. Look at that, 15 something. Look at the walls. Doesn't look brand new there. And guys with horse and buggy created it. No, we've been through multiple resets. Can you imagine? All these old world structures, they want you to believe we did that with horse and buggy. Brick, masonry, even the old spires, what they found was copper straps that go all the way down to the basements and stuff. So there's an actual electrical connection from the spires that go to the basements. Then if you know about the Baghdad battery, which are old batteries that were in ceramic pots, you know, like everything Voltaire and others, they just rediscovered the old world. They were actually able to decode it, backwards engineer it, find the literature that we can't get to nowadays. Same with Nikola Tesla. He discovered something. Besides his, you know, spirituality or whatever he had, he traveled, and before he came over here to spend time with Edison, he had a light bulb moment probably at several of these. He just, I think, gathered information, and it wasn't so well hidden back then. Here, what's... Oh, here's the Bolsheviks again. Wow. And when I think of Bolsheviks, I think of Cenk-Uygur. You know, he's such a fucking leftist. He's such a leftist. Kazan was the capital of Idil Ural state, which was suppressed by the Bolshevik government. Is that a surprise? In the Kazan operation of August 1918, it was occupied by Czechoslovak legions. In 1920, Kazan became the center of Tatar Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic after the Treaty of Rapallo 1921. Until 1933, the German and the Russian army operated together. The Kama Tank School in Kazan. Funny, right? It's got a tank school now in the country. So again, where'd the gold come from? Where'd the how would they end up advanced in schooling people how to use tanks? So where did the tanks come from? Look at Kazan, making the city a center of the military industry, producing tanks and planes. So again, Tartarian structures, and it turns out to be a center for gold and then a center for technology. and conquered multiple times. Real interesting. Socialist governments, maybe they, you know, like communism, it probably really capitalism is probably much better, but maybe that's what all this was about. Well, different factions, the crown against all these people, and then the crown morphs itself into the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, and God only knows. It's hard to just have one perception on anything once you've gone, you know, once you learn enough. It's hard to just say anything's black or white, and it's hard to even summarize or draw a conclusion. So much has happened. We know so little, and they're trying to pull another big reset. So we're stupid and the people at the top have all the technology and power. And then their new AI revolution. It's horrible what's happening. We're not going to forgive them for what they did to the kids, though, and what they continue to do to the kids. Sooner or later. Sooner or later.